gentlemen, please welcome the graduating class of the 2022-2023 academic year of the St. Mary's Academy, accompanied by their teachers. Please stand at attention for the first stanza of the national anthem of the Commonwealth of Dominica.
Please remain standing as we call on Father Karam to lead us in the opening prayer.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, the Lord be with you. Let us listen to a text of Holy Scripture that comes from the Gospel of Matthew chapter 8, verses 1 to 4. After Jesus had come down from the mountain, large crowds followed him. A leper now came up and bowed low in front of him. "Sir," he said, "if you want to, you can cure me." Jesus stretched out his hand, touched him, and said, "Of course I want to. Be cured." And his leprosy was cured at once. Then Jesus said to him, "Mind you tell no one, but go and show yourself to the priest and make the offering prescribed by Moses as evidence for them." The Gospel of the Lord. Gracious and loving God, we ask now for your almighty hand to be upon our graduates and their families as they celebrate this grand milestone. May they find comfort from our community's continued embrace and support on their journey through life. May they find strength in the excellence of their academic preparation and a long tradition of Catholic education. Bless their lives from this day on with goodness and success. Enable them to stay true to their motto of sincere prayer and assiduous and diligent work for your greater glory, to discern what is right, good, and just, and to use their gifts wisely and in the service of others. Empower them to walk into the future with faith, hope, and great love, guided by your light, so that they may use their talents to, in the words of St. Ignatius, go forth and set the world on fire. We ask this in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, your Son, who lives and reigns with you in the unity of the Holy Spirit, God, forever and ever.
Please be seated. I now call on my co-host, Mrs. Rabes, to deliver the official welcome address.
Acting Delegate of the Archbishop, Father Nigel Karam, Dr. Jeffrey Blaise, Chief Education Officer in the Ministry of Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training, and National Excellence, and other education officials. Father Branca John, the chaplain of the St. Mary's Academy. Mrs. Josephine Dublin, Superintendent of Catholic Schools. Members of the clergy and religious. Mr. Sheldon Alfred, featured speaker. Mrs. Sylvia John Baptist, the principal, and the staff of the St. Mary's Academy. Benefactors, other invited guests, the media, virtual viewers, parents, guardians, well-wishers of St. Mary's Academy, and the graduating class of 2023. Good morning. We welcome you to witness and celebrate the accomplishment of 67 determined and resilient young men. On behalf of the administration and staff of the St. Mary's Academy, it is my distinct honor and pleasure to welcome you to the graduation ceremony of the St. Mary's Academy graduating class of 2023. I have been privileged to witness these young men before us enter the gates of St. Mary's as timid young boys, ready to undergo construction within the walls of this institution. Graduates, this year was perhaps the most uneventful year of all of your high school journey, but you have overcome. You have turned adversities to achievements, and we are all proud to bear witness to this auspicious occasion. To all those physically and virtually present to share in this moment, once again, we bid you a warm welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Rabes. It gives me great honor to introduce the next speaker. As a teacher for many years, Mrs. John Baptist did her best to instill in her students a love for learning, giving them the desire to appreciate and learn more about the subjects taught. She brings the same zeal and passion to her role as principal and endeavors to make SMA a model school. She has a genuine interest in the well-being and progress of the students as is evident by this year's graduating class. It is with pleasure that I now present my former teacher, our principal, the principal of the St. Mary's Academy, Mrs. Sylvia John Baptist, to deliver the principal's report.
Acting Delegate of the Archbishop, Father Nigel Karam, Dr. Jeffrey Blaise, Chief Education Officer of the Ministry of Education, Human Resource, Planning, Vocational Training, and the National Excellence, and other education officers, Father Branca John, Chaplain of St. Mary's Academy, Mrs. Josephine Dublin, a Superintendent of Catholic Schools, members of the clergy and religious, including our Christian brother, Brother Philogen, Mr. Sheldon Alfred, our featured speaker, benefactors, other invited guests, the media, virtual viewers, parents, guardians, well-wishers of St. Mary's Academy, the graduating class of 2023. Good morning. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we are indeed rejoicing and are glad in it. Today, we are here to celebrate the success of these 67 students who have gone through the immense challenges throughout their 5 years at St. Mary's Academy and are stepping out, embracing all the accompanying challenges of the journey. The school year 2022-2023 gave us much to be thankful for, as we welcomed the results of the CSEC exams of 2022. There were 100% passes in the following subjects: agricultural science, economics, English A, geography, human and social biology, industrial arts or building technology, music, physical education, and principles of business. There were good performances in biology with a 95% pass, history, 96%, information technology, 93%, principles of accounts, 93%, technical drawing, 95%, mathematics, 78%, physics, 75%, French, 71%, chemistry, 60%, and Spanish, 50%. We were pleased with your outstanding performances, having secured an overall pass rate of 87.9%. It must be noted that SMA had the highest percentage pass in the island in mathematics and English, 78 and 100% respectively. SMA's top performers in the 2022 exams were as follows: Marcellus Lee, 10 ones; Cameron Phillip, 8 ones and 4 twos; Amani Francis, 8 ones and 2 twos; Alexander Theodore, 5 ones and 4 twos; Sky Boli Casimir, 5 ones, 3 twos, and 1 3; Adio Savre, 4 ones and 6 twos; Shael Menz, 4 ones and 5 twos; and Stefan Pascal, 4 ones and 4 twos. Ladies and gentlemen, these achievements did not come without the grace and blessings of God, the dedicated staff of St. Mary's Academy, supportive parents, hard-working students, benefactors who took a keen interest in the development of our young men. For these persons, we are truly grateful. It really shows us that it takes a community to raise a child, or should I say, a man. Despite the setbacks of the 2021-2022 school year with online classes due to COVID, these gentlemen gave a very good account of themselves, and we are very proud of them and wish them God's blessings. Now, this 2022-2023 school year, we were blessed with an uninterrupted year of teaching and learning, like we did prior to COVID. Allow me to take a moment to highlight a few of the school's accomplishments. In sports, SMA participated in the following events organized by the sports division. Football, under 15, under 17, and 13 and under. And our under 15 team went into the semifinals. We also took part in under 20 basketball, under 20 and under 15 cricket, volleyball, and athletics. Though this year was not our winning year or year for championships, the SMA players showed great performance and sportsmanship. Special mention must be made of Dante Deja and Ishant Roye, who secured medals in the Independence Athletic Meet. The volleyball team, led by coaches Figaro and Toussaint, though young, did very well, and we are optimistic that they will continue to improve if they keep training. Members of the graduating class were actively involved in sports. Special mention must be made of Bryce Robinson, who played and performed very well in basketball, football, and cricket. Cleveland John Lewis, Jalil Daniel, and Richardson Anthony played football and cricket. Adriano Dover played football. Mervyn Eustache played cricket. We would like to congratulate Bryce Robinson, Jalil Daniel, and Cleveland John Lewis, who were called up by the sports division for national training in football. We wish them all the best. We would like to thank the teachers and coaches who gave of their time to train our young men in the various sports. Mr. Lewis, Mr. Basil, Mr. Figaro, Mr. Richard Joseph, Mr. Debon, Mr. Francis, Mr. Charles Joseph, and Mr. David Toussaint. Ladies and gentlemen, you must have heard about the inter-secondary school debating competition, which was reintroduced to our students after a number of years. There were very interesting topics, and our students gave a very good account of themselves. SMA was successful in a few rounds of competition and made it to the semifinals, with a member of the team being awarded Best Speaker in 2 out of the 3 debates. Representing SMA were Adrian Piper from our graduating class, Ajani Casimir and Jahaziel John. They're from the lower school. They were coached and trained by Mrs. Kushner Rabes, the head of the English department. SMA gentlemen went on to show their prowess by emerging as a champion in the Rotary Literacy Quiz, in the persons of Jason Hahn and Horeb Bacasio. Hats off to Miss Rena Stevens and her team who prepared them. SMA remains undefeated in this competition, and we intend staying so. Our head boy and student of the year, Mr. Kadel Casimir, participated in the Dowasco Water Week Secondary School's essay competition and secured a 3rd place. The 4-H Club continues to add good quality to school life through its culinary arts program, hiking, camping, and service to the community. Many thanks to the National 4-H Coordinator, Mr. Bert Paul, the local leader, Mr. Tyrese Francis, and the team of 4-H teachers. Ladies and gentlemen, though we have accomplished much, and are thankful for those, we are concerned about the insufficient reading being done among our young men. We are concerned about the attachment to the electronic devices such as the cell phone and the tablet. We are concerned about the unawareness of current events and the failure to apply knowledge where they should. These weaknesses have made themselves present in every subject, and we know we would like to better this. We'll have to work on this. Parents, we need your assistance in that area. We are in the age of technology, and information technology is being used in every subject, especially at the CSEC level, for school-based assessments and CSEC exams in papers 1 and 2. As a result, the growing demand on our available resources make it necessary to seek assistance in procuring hardware, namely computers, to meet those growing needs. We would like to thank all those who have already made contributions to the school for this academic year. And we'd like to highlight something. For this year, the school has received donations from the Society for Historic Architectural Preservation and Restoration and Enhancement, known as SHIP, in the persons of Miss Vanessa Prevost and Mr. Angus McIntyre, who visited our school garden, had discussions with us concerning our food security program, and later made a generous donation of agricultural inputs and equipment. In addition to that, Mr. McIntyre engaged some of our agricultural science students in agricultural techniques of plant propagation. Ladies and gentlemen, you might have heard that 2 past students of St. Mary's Academy, in the names of Gordon Henderson and Leroy Waddix Charles, visited their alma mater with the intention of giving back and have decided to assist in the renovation of the roof of the Egbert Germain wing, which was damaged during the passage of Hurricane Maria. And they're hoping to donate part of the proceeds from the Kadas Lipso and Gospel Festival in August for that purpose. We ask you, please, to support this venture, as supporting it, where you will be supporting SMA. And I've come to the point where I would like to have a little something with our graduating class. Dear graduates, the theme aptly chosen for this year's graduation ceremony is Stepping Out, Embracing Who We Have Become. For some of you, it was smooth sailing. But for others, it was a long and sometimes arduous journey from Form 1 to this point, and sometimes endurance ran thin. I want you to know that your SMA family never lost hope in you. In stepping out, you may have stumbled a few times, might have even come close to falling, but you are the smartest men alive. So you turned your obstacles into stepping stones and have become stronger after mastering the adversity. Sometimes your SMA family had to look at you make mistakes with pain in our eyes, but we had to allow you to, because we knew that we were preparing you for life and this sometimes unforgiving world. Throughout your journey at SMA, while we had to exercise tough love at times, we did not look only at your limitations, but looked at your possibilities and harnessed them too. We tried to follow in the example of our founder, Blessed Edmund Rice, and the Christian brothers who led the way in preparing young men to take their roles in society and make the world a better place for humanity. Gentlemen, the world is counting on you. Do not let the world down. As you are stepping out into the world to sharpen your skills, I ask you to never forget to attire yourselves with the triple-layered robe of good attitude, humility, and integrity. This robe will open doors for you and lead you to great places of service. Gentlemen, when every single member of your class made it to this point of graduation, it is indeed something to celebrate with thanksgiving. Gentlemen, your SMA family is very proud of you. As I conclude, I wish to thank the Christian brothers, the Catholic School Board of Management, especially the superintendent, Mrs. Josephine Dublin, members of the administrative team, teachers of SMA who make it happen under the most trying situations, our various benefactors, including our past students, our cleaners, our groundsmen, our hygiene wardens and farm assistants, and all who have given their unwavering support throughout this year. May God bless our efforts and give success to the work of our hands. I thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. John Baptist, for a very comprehensive report. We will now have a musical interlude by the quartet of Mark Moses, Gary Coppell, Gerald Victor, and Yannick Blomkist Williams, who are 4 talented students of our graduating class. They will be performing Adele's Rolling in the Deep. Let me also take this opportunity to highlight some of our sponsors: the Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Roosevelt Skerrit, the Ministry of Education, Kondwani Williams, Anthony Parillo, Discover Dominica Limited, the Christian Brothers, Dr. Julian, Domlek, Dominica Olympic Committee, and Harris Pins.
Mr. Billy Doctorow, P.H. Williams and Company Limited, Witsco Development Institute, the National Bank of Dominica, A.C. Shillingford and Company Limited, Pan American Life Insurance, Big Edge Financial Express, Mr. Rupert Sorrendo and family, Mr. Bert Paul, Sons of SMA,
Omar Monel, the St. Mary's Academy 4-H Club, Miss Ruth Paul, Valens Medical Center, Gerald Burton, Our Lady of Fairhaven Parish, Max Roy Trading Limited, Arturo Sports, Do It Center, and Archipelago Limited.
Okay, so these are just some of the firms, organizations, and individuals who have contributed towards this year's graduation. Right now, we'll have the 4 students, the quartet, presenting Rolling in the Deep. Give the quartet another round of applause. Thank you, gentlemen. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce the next speaker, a former student of the St. Mary's Academy, whom I had the absolute delight in knowing, teaching, and basking in his accomplishments. Sheldon Shelley Alfred attended the St. Mary's Academy from 2006 to 2011. His 5 years at the school were marked with great enthusiasm, dedication, and industry. He was an honor student, a footballer, a debater, a musician, a calypsonian, an entertainer in all sense of the word. While at the St. Mary's Academy, Sheldon the Professor Alfred captured 3 consecutive crowns between 2009 and 2011. Noteworthy as well, he served as the president of the Student Council for 2 consecutive years. After leaving the SMA, or maybe even before that, Sheldon has been a household name. In 2015, he transitioned to the National Calypso Monarch and became a first-time finalist and was crowned Stardom King of the 10th that year. Shelley has since shifted his focus to bouillon. He has won numerous awards for his stellar songwriting, composition, and performance. In 2015, he was awarded Dominica's Outstanding Youth in Music at the National Youth Awards. In 2020, he was awarded the Young Artist Award by the Cultural Division and National Cultural Council. He was double awarded at the National Youth Awards in 2022 as the Male Youth of the Year and the President's Outstanding Youth of the Year. Parallel to his professional music career, Mr. Alfred also takes a keen interest in education with the intersection of music and design. He often prefers to be referred to as a musical designer. He is a holder of an associate degree in architecture from the Dominica State College. He also holds a Bachelor of Science degree in architecture and environmental design from Morgan State University, where he was awarded the Alpha Rho Chi, I hope I pronounced that correctly, medal, which recognizes graduating architecture students for their leadership and service and potential contribution to the future of the profession. He was also awarded for design excellence and was the overall top student of the university's 2017 graduating class. He later obtained a Master in Architecture degree from Harvard University Graduate School of Design. He is currently the CEO, co-founder, and lead artist in one of Dominica's most prominent bouillon groups, Signal Band, and he is also an architectural acoustics consultant. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the featured speaker for the 2023 graduation ceremony of the St. Mary's Academy, Mr. Sheldon, the Professor Shelley Alfred.
Acting Delegate of the Archbishop, Father Nigel Karam, Dr. Jeffrey Blaise, Chief Education Officer in the Ministry of Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training and National Excellence, and other educational officials, Father Branka John, Chaplain of the St. Mary's Academy, Mrs. Josephine Dublin, Superintendent of the Catholic Schools, members of the clergy, Mrs. Sylvia John Baptist, the principal, and the staff of the St. Mary's Academy, benefactors, other invited guests, the media, virtual viewers, parents, guardians, well-wishers of the St. Mary's Academy, and the graduating class of 2023. Good morning. Good morning. All right. I noticed the other day that I have been interviewed more than 100 times. And no interviewer has ever asked me, Shelley, if you could change one line of any one song of yours, what would that song be? So I will proceed to interview myself and ask, Shelley, if you could change one line of any one song of yours, what would that song be? Well, there's this one song of mine that you may know, which goes, sometimes I wish that I could make a difference, but it's just a wish. All right. Honestly, I would change those lyrics to I used to wish that I could make a difference, and now I am actually making a difference. I say this to set the tone of how honored I am today to stand here, firstly as a young man, as an artist, as a musician, as a professional, as a scholar, and more importantly, as an alumnus of the St. Mary's Academy. I will also set the tone by admitting that I cannot remember a single word that was said by the featured speaker of my graduation when I sat in your position 11 years ago. I cannot even remember who the speaker was, unfortunately. So rule number one, please do your best to remember me and what I'm about to say today, and I will also do my best to make this address as memorable as possible. We are gathered here today to celebrate a significant milestone in the lives of 67 young men, a milestone that marks the culmination of years of hard work, growth, and teenage discovery. As you stand on the precipice of your next chapter, the theme for today's ceremony should resonate deeply with you, your friends, and your family. Stepping out, embracing who we have become. But how does a young teenager even measure who he has become when he has spent the last few years just trying to survive? By a show of hands, and I like the setup today by our parents, who has never received a demerit? Okay. Who has never served the detention? Who has never been suspended? I hope you're telling the truth. But seriously, on average, you have spent the last 900 weekdays of your life trying to wake up on time, trying to get to the school on time, trying to get A's, making sure that the dog doesn't eat your homework, trying to avoid being the only one wearing a khaki pants on a black pants day, and on top of that, trying to not forget your crest. By the way, life is not going to get any easier. You're going to have more things to remember. But my question to you is, how do you measure who you have become amidst all the high school madness? And how do you even begin to embrace this new complex version of yourself? Today, as you reflect on your high school years, it is critical to acknowledge the transformation that has taken place within you. You have not only grown academically, but also mentally, emotionally, socially, spiritually. And you should never neglect any one of those earlies, for they all matter. I say it with some bias that you were taught at one of the most prestigious and respected high schools on this island by some of the most qualified, skilled, and patient educators we have. You have soared through one of the most challenging high school curriculums on this island. You have earned a diploma that may be as strong of a foundation as you may need to get into Harvard University. And this academic achievement and its potential is part of who you have become. Beyond the curriculum, you have shared in social experiences that allowed you to learn valuable lessons and skills outside of the classroom too. Perhaps football, cricket, basketball, or even music were not just hobbies. They may have just been a foundation upon which you can build your future. These social experiences are part of who you have become. You have also forged friendships that will last a lifetime. You have nurtured a community that has lifted each other up, celebrated each other's successes, and supported each other through difficult times. So please move forward with that brotherly love. Remain united, even if your paths may diverge. A young, educated black man is a gem in today's world. More so, a united group of young, educated black men is a force in today's world. This emotional awareness is part of who you have become. As a graduating class, you have faced some of the greatest challenges of our recent time. Your high school journey begins soon after the country was ravaged by Hurricane Maria. And at your midpoint, you were met with a global pandemic that forced you into socially distant learning. But yet still, you made it through and you made it out. And you will have quite a story to tell. That mental resilience is part of who you have become. You should firstly always understand in detail who you have become before you can begin to embrace it. That understanding is critical as you embark on the next phases of your lives. While it might feel like this graduation is an endpoint, it's actually not. It also doesn't mark a new beginning. Rather, it marks a pit stop that is similar to the NASCAR racers getting to a checkpoint to evaluate their race cars. Very soon, and I mean very soon, you're going to reach another milestone and other milestones in your life. And there will be other pit stops in which you will have to acknowledge the transformation that takes place within you. I am who I am today because I chose to understand first and then embrace. I have embraced who I've become at every pit stop before diving out of the pit lane and getting back into the race. I went to SMP. At SMP, I did well academically, but that was also where I discovered that I could do music. By the time I got to the pit stop after SMP, I noticed that I was a better singer and a better guitarist. So I left all the other instruments alone, and I embraced singing and playing the guitar. While in high school, I won a few crowns, Calypso crowns, and I formed Signal Band with my peers, where I started as a guitarist. But after the high school pit stop, I understood that I loved music even more and wanted to do it professionally. Now, I'll pause to give a quick story. But firstly, I just want to use 10 seconds of this speech to observe Mr. Elwin, Mr. Cuthbert Elwin, great man who had a great impact on my life, and I just want to pause a little while for him. So, when Signal Band was formed, we got our first Curl in the Park gig. And we were playing, I mean, usually when you just start, you're playing at Curl in the Park, hot sun, 12 o'clock, noon. So I asked Mr. Elwin if I could leave school at least 2 hours early because Signal Band is playing in Curl in the Park. And he told me no. He's worried about, he thinks I'm a young man with a lot of promise, and I'm worried that you will get lost to the music. And I was like, lost to the music, Mr. Elwin? No, and I tried to convince him. I spent some minutes in his office trying to convince him. He was not convinced at the end. He told me not to go. Guys, you know what I did? You know what I did? I went. And I didn't even leave school 2 hours early because I figured I wouldn't have the authorization to leave early, so I just didn't come. And I went to perform at Curl in the Park. And I feel like that story resonates with me because I don't feel like music took me away from my academics at all. You know, if anything, I think it reinforced it. And after, Mr. Elwin definitely understood. So that might be a message for the parents and guardians that there's no taking away. You know, whether it's sports, it's music, there's no taking away. But I'll continue. I say all this to say that by the time I was done with SMA, I understood that I loved music and wanted to do it professionally. Well, I also understood that I had a curiosity for architecture. So with that understanding, I embraced both music and architecture. And I've gone on to earn a master's degree in architecture from Harvard University. But I've also gone on to ensure that I master the art of the music that I do and I create. Again, it comes back down to firstly understanding in detail what you are becoming before you can begin to embrace it. You do not want to embrace the wrong parts of yourself. Understand first, then embrace. But don't be consumed by the race. As you encounter these pit stops, hold steadfast to your values. They are probably the one group of things that will never change, no matter how the race is going and no matter what the outcome of the race is. Parents, this is where your role now lies. You may notice that I have only addressed the graduates this morning. And that is because they are at a point where they are the ones in the driver's seat. You are now playing a supportive role in ensuring that their values remain and that they never lose their sense of self throughout this race. In conclusion, graduates, today You stand at a pit stop. Actually, you sit. You're sitting right now. So you sit at a pit stop of endless possibilities. Step out to the pit lane with confidence, courage, and deep embrace of who you have become and who you are becoming. Just remember, if I can make a difference, so can you. But you must firstly put God at the center of this race. And you must understand that you must understand your transformation at every single point of this journey. Be the complete version of yourself. Don't leave any stones unturned. Build a strong awareness of your spirituality. Build strong mental awareness and stay physically healthy. Congratulations, class of 2023. Congratulations, young men. Your future awaits, and it is shining bright with promise and potential. Go forth, and if you were to forget everything I just said, do not forget what I will leave you with. Go out there and shock them. Shock them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Alfred. And do appreciate this token from the St. Mary's Academy. Let me say thanks a second time, and to Mr. Alfred, based on your instructions at the start, I'm sure years from now they will not just remember who gave the address, the featured speaker's address, but they will also remember some words that were said today. So we say thank you for that. And to the young men, please remember to shock them. We now call on Mr. Remy Lawrence, a fourth form student of room WA5, who will do a musical performance. He will be performing You Raise Me Up, and he will be accompanied by Miss Leanne Christian.
Thank you, Mr. Remy Lawrence and Miss Christian, for this beautiful performance. We would like to continue to acknowledge some of our firms, organizations, and individuals for their contributions towards this year's graduation. Dr. Green, Cheryl and Liam Roll, Sagicor, Brighter Days, Akim Ismail, the McIntyre family, Jays Limited, Multi Solutions Inc., The Signman, and Corisav Inc.
The Great Old House, Mrs. Desiree Elwin, Signal Band, Mr. Peter Aleta, Mr. Kirk Blackmore, Mr. Wayne Nordy, JTAS Inc., Mr. Philip Roll, the Central Cooperative Credit Union, and Horsford and Williams Chambers.
Mr. Anthony and Atenia Tulo, Mrs. Geolivis Mafi, Mr. Kareem Bertrand, National Cooperative Credit Union, Quality Diagnostics Laboratory Services, Eagles Wings, Lafayette House Medical Laboratory, Marvin Peltier, Mr. Javid Joseph, Dragon Windows.
Del Naji Sport Shop, Ms. Tawana Elwin, Che Gittins, the graduating class of 1989 of the St. Mary's Academy, Mrs. Kushner Rabes, Mr. Sheldon Alfred, Mr. Cameron Phillip, Busy Bubbles, Fine Foods Inc., Dr. Wayne Joseph, and Mr. Sheldon Bruno.
Please give our benefactors a round of applause. Without them, today's ceremony would not be possible. At this time, we will have the moment that many of the graduates have been waiting for. We will have the distribution of diplomas. We would like to call on Deacon Jeffers Paul, our Vice Principal, to join us up front. And we would also like to invite the Acting Archbishop Delegate, Father Karam, to assist us with the presentation of diplomas.
Greetings all. These are the names of our graduating class 2023. Curtis Alcenda, Marquez Andrew, Richardson Anthony, Terji Banis. McCarthy Barker, Nicholas Bell, Shizidek Bellot, Jeff Bless. Yannick Blomqvist Williams, Denron Carbon, Tardell Casimir, DeAndre Charles. Keelan Charles Mack, Garrick Copel, Every Daly, Jalel Danya. Adriano Dova, Narmik Emmanuel, Mervyn Eustace, Marquez Grell. Damian Gist, Darren Gist, Jahid Harrison, Dimitri Hippolyte. Merrick James, Taj James, Womani Javis, Jara John Baptist. Cleavon John Lewis, Jeff Roy Joseph, Rahid Joseph, Rashid Joseph, and Showan Jules. Joan Laville, Lebron Laza, Asha Lokat, Johansi Luge. Sage Mackenzie, Mark Moses, Cruz Murphy, Arturo Pascal. Jaden Filbert, Adrian Piper, Tyre Pollock, Asafa Powell. Nicholas Privel, Jeffron Reed, Quintin Riley, Bryce Robinson. Sahid Sabin, Kieron Shillingford, Miles Shillingford, Sean Shillingford. Amen. Sanjay Suku, Bertrell St. John, Michael Stewart. Sion Thomas, Quinton Thomas, Jehan Timothy, Adriano Toussaint. Saviola Toussaint, Gerald Victor, Isaiah Vidal, Zakel Vital. Richard Walters, Joshua Williams, Giovanni Winston. Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you our graduates of St. Mary's Academy for 2023. Congratulations.
Thank you, graduates. You may be seated again. And special thanks to Father Karam. And here is a gift to show our appreciation. At this time, we will have the presentation of subject awards to deserving students in the respective subjects. This will be done by the subject teachers. And subject teachers, please find your way to the back so that this can be done. And once again, we want to thank all those who have contributed to the development of our graduating class and who will continue to contribute to the students who are coming up behind them. For the subject awards, we start with agricultural science. The teacher is Mrs. Bolan Peter. And the students are Dimitri Hippolyte and Jeff Blaise.
For biology, these two awards will be presented by Mr. Jovan Peter, Sage Mackenzie, and Adrian Piper.
Next award is Building Technology, and this will be presented by Mr. Mr. Daly. And the students are Adrian Piper and Marquez Andrew.
For chemistry, we have Mr. Sage Mackenzie and Mr. Dimitri Hippolyte. These awards will be presented by Mr. Jovan Peter.
The next award is for economics. And that award goes to Kadel Kazime, and it will be presented by Mrs. Elwin.
And the following award for EDPM goes to Damian Gist, and that will be presented by Mrs. Elwin as well.
The next award is for English A, and that will be presented by Mrs. Rabes. And the students are Sage Mackenzie and Adrian Piper. The next award is for French. English B. And that will be presented to Adrian Piper and Sage Mackenzie. The teacher is Mrs. Philogen.
And now for French. We have Sage Mackenzie and Kadel Kazimi. The awards will be presented by Mademoiselle Paul.
The next award is French for Life, and the students are Richardson Anthony and Kaylan Charles Mack. The awards will be presented by Miss Sentile.
For history, we have first place Mr. Sage Mackenzie and closely followed by Adrian Piper. Mr. Cordell Lazar will do the presentation. For Human and Social Biology, Kadel Kazimi and Sanjay Suku. Mr. Francis will do the presentation. For Information Technology, Kadel Kazimi and Sion Thomas. Mrs. Elwin will do the honors.
For mathematics, we have Sage Mackenzie, followed by Adrian Piper, and this will be presented by Mrs. Bergens.
For Physics, Sage Mackenzie and Adrian Piper. Mr. Francis will present these awards. For Principles of Accounts, we have Kadel Kazimi and Arturo Pascal. Mrs. Cesar will do the presentation.
For Principles of Business, we have Jahid Harrison, followed by Kadel Kazime, and this will be presented by Mr. Jackson. Religious Studies, Sage Mackenzie and Kadel Kazimi. And this award has been presented by Mr. Paul. The next award is for Spanish, and this award goes to Adrian Piper and Dimitri Hippolyte, and it will be presented by Mrs. Murphy.
For Spanish for Life, we have Mr. Darren Gist and Marquez Grell. Mrs. Murphy will also do the presentation.
subject is technical drawing, and the students are Adrian Piper and Arturo Pascal, and it will be presented by Mr. Debo. The final subject is geography. The students are Sage Mackenzie and Gerald Victor, and it will be presented by Mrs. Tulo.
So these were the top students in the various subject areas. Give them a round of applause. Thank you to the subject teachers for assisting us in the distribution of awards. We will now have the presentation of special awards. We invite Father Branca John, our school chaplain, to assist us with the distribution of these awards. And please, audience, bear with us. We have quite a few awards. The students are quite deserving of these awards, and we want to take all the time necessary to present them with those. They have worked really hard. Special award, the Kondwani Williams Award for Excellence in Agriculture, Dimitri Hippolyte. The Rupert Sorrento Award for Top in Agricultural Practicals, Mervyn Eustache. The P.H. Williams Award for Top in Geography, Sage Mackenzie. He will also receive the Dr. Julian's Award for Top in Biology. So Sage Mackenzie, once more.
Domlex Award for Top in Physics goes to Adrian Piper. The Whitco Award for Excellence in Business, Jahid Harrison. Domlek Award for Top in Physics, Adrian Piper. Harris Pence Ninian Mari Excellence in Business Award, Kadel Kazime. ACS Promex Milk Award for Top in Business, McCarthy Bakker. Philip Roll Award for Excellence in Business, Kadel Kazimi.
The Whitscore Award for Excellence in Business, Jaid Harrison. Dr. D.O.N. McIntyre Award for Excellence in Science, Mr. Sage Mackenzie. Dr. D.O.N. McIntyre Award for Excellence in Science, Mr. Sage Mackenzie. The Central Cooperative Credit Union Award for Excellence in Accounts, Kadel Kazimi. The National Cooperative Credit Union Award for Excellence in Accounts, Mr. Arturo Pascal. The Marvin Peltier Awards for Excellence in Accounts, Mr. Sanjay Suku. The Max Roy Royer Award for Top in Building Technology, Adrian Piper. The ACS Happy Award for Most Outstanding French Student, Mr. Sage Mackenzie.
ACS Maribel Award for Most Outstanding Spanish Student, Adrian Piper. The William and Hotspur Chambers Award for English and Public Speaking, Adrian Piper. S.J. Lewis Award for Excellence in Liberal Arts, Adrian Piper. The Brighter Days Award for Top in Liberal Arts, Sage Mackenzie. Churros Award for Excellence in Information Technology, Kadel Kazime and Sion Thomas. Big Edge Financial Express Award for Top in Information Technology, Sanjay Suku. The Multi Solutions Inc. Award for Dedication in Information Technology, Richard Walters. The Atenia Tula Award for Visual Arts, Adriano Tuse. Special award for most dedicated French student, Sage Mackenzie.
The Anthony Parlow Award for Excellence in Technical Drawing, Adrian Piper. The Do It Center Award for Top in Technical Drawing, Arturo Pascal. Signal Band Award for Excellence in Music, Mark Moses. The Peter Litter Award for Excellence in Music, Garrick Coppell. The Corisav Inc. Award for Excellence in Building Technology, Marquez Andrew. The Kirk Blackmore Award for STEM, which is Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics, Adrian Piper. The Fine Foods Inc. Excellence in Business Award, Mr. Quintin Riley. And the Billy Doctorow Award for Excellence in Sports with the following categories: Athletics, Gerfran Reed. Basketball, Bryce Robinson. Cricket, Cleavon John Lewis. And football, Jalil Daniel.
The Javid Joseph Award for Perseverance in Basketball, Curtis Alcendo. Signman Award for Excellence in Football, Jalil Daniel. The Naji Sports Shop Award for Excellence in Basketball, Bryce Robinson. And the award for football goes to Cleavon John Lewis. The Billy Doctorow Sportsman of the Year Award, Bryce Robinson. Eagle's Wings Soar Award for Application and Dedication in Mathematics, Mark Moses.
The Kirk Blackmore Award for Most Improved Student, Denron Carbon. The Leslie Charles Special Award in Geography, Jarrell Victor. Mathematics, Dimitri Hippolyte. The JTAS Inc. Award for Top in History, Sage Mackenzie. The Lafales Award for Top in Chemistry, Sage Mackenzie. Mrs. Murphy Special Award for Steady Application in Spanish, Sion Thomas.
Dragon Windows Award for Excellence in History, Kadel Kazimi. And for technical drawing, Mark Moses. Che Gittins Awards. For excellence in Spanish, Jorel Victor. Perseverance and passion in Spanish, Sanjay Suku. Excellence in history, Adrian Piper. School spirit, leadership, and dedication, Kadel Kazimi. And receiving also the Valence Medical Center Award for top in human and social biology, Kadel Kazimi. The Sheldon Bruno Awards for excellence in history, Jahid Harrison. And for steady application and perseverance, Mervyn Eustache.
The graduating class of 1989 awards for top in agricultural science, McCarthy Barker. For excellence in agricultural practicals, Terje Banis. For outstanding performance in history, Dimitri Hippolyte. And for excellence in history, Mark Moses. The Benefactors Award for Excellence in Building Technology, Cruz Murphy. The Sons of SMA Special Award for Excellence in English, Jaid Harrison. And Mathematics, Jorel Victor. Dr. Wayne, or Mr. Wayne Norde, Special Award for Top in French. Oh no, it's actually Dr. Wayne Award for Perseverance in Chemistry, Garrick Coppell. And History, Bryce Robinson. Now for Mr. Wayne Nordy's Special Award for Top in French, Mr. Sage Mackenzie and Kadel Kazimi.
Mrs. Krishna Rabes, Special English Award for Dedication, Sion Thomas, and Kadel Kazimi. Social Studies Department, Special Award for Geography, Jeff Blaise. The Science Department Special Awards for Science goes to Dimitri Hippolyte, Mikafi Barker, Gerald Victor, and Zakel Vital. The ICT Department, Special Award for Perseverance in Information Technology, Jahid Harrison. The Lafayette Award for Good Character and Ethics, Mervyn Eustache.
The Busy Bubble Award for Leadership, Industry, and Innovation, Kadel Kazimi. The Cameron Phillip Award for Perseverance, Dedication, and Hard Work, Dimitri Hippolyte. Our Lady of Fairhaven Parish Award for Discipline, Loyalty, and Service, Bryce Robinson. The Pan American Mr. Cuthbert Elwin Award for School Spirit, Jalil Daniel. The PTA Award for Dependability, Bryce Robinson.
The Signman Award for Perseverance and Dedication to Work, Jahid Harrison. The Christian Brothers Award for Service to Community, Church, and School, Kadel Kazimi. The Jays Award for Best Conduct, Isaiah Vidal. the Principal's Award for Courage, Perseverance, and Dedication, Garrick Kopel. The Blessed Edmund Rice Award for Religion and Good Example, Isaiah Vidal. And the Staff Award for Good Character, Mervyn Eustache.
Forage Club Awards for Leadership, sponsored by Kareem Bertrand, Adrian Piper, and Bryce Robinson. For Culinary Arts, these awards are sponsored by Akim Ismail and the Great Old House, Kadel Kazimi, and Bertrell St. John. Club Spirit Awards, sponsored by Jays Limited and the Ministry of Education, Sion Thomas and Jara John Baptist.
Academic Excellence Award, sponsored by the Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, Sage Mackenzie, and Adrian Piper. And the Tourism Awards, sponsored by the Discover Dominica Authority, Denron Carbon, and Dimitri Hippolyte. The Bishop Morris Student of the Year Award, Kadel Kazimi. The Gerald Burton Award for the Salutatorian, Adrian Piper. And the Gerald Burton Award for the valedictorian, Sage Mackenzie.
We would also like to award the students who excelled in the June 2022 CSEC exams. Marcellus Lee with 10 ones. Cameron Philip, 8 ones and 4 twos. And this will be collected by his father, Mr. Philip. Amani Francis, 8 ones and 2 twos. Alexander Theodore, 5 ones and 4 twos. Sky Bully Kazimi, 5 ones, 3 twos, and 1 3. So that's Alexander Theodore making his way up front. Adio Savre, 4 ones and 6 twos. I don't think I'm seeing Adio anywhere. Shael Menz, 4 ones and 5 twos. And Stefan Pascal, 4 ones and 4 twos. Okay, I don't see Mr. Pascal either. So put your hands together for all the students, our graduates, as well as the past students who excelled. We also have benefactors' interest in the development of careers in science. Top in science, Sage Mackenzie, and top in mathematics, Adrian Piper. And the Quality Diagnostics Laboratory Services for Excellence in Science, Sage Mackenzie. Father Branca, thank you very much for assisting us in this long but rewarding process. Thank you to all the students for your hard work throughout. Thank you. The Sagicor will now do a special presentation. So we call on the representative for Sagicor. The Liam Roll Awards for Excellence in Mathematics, Sage Mackenzie. Physics, Sage Mackenzie. Business, Arturo Pascal. Information Technology, Kadel Kazimi. Literature, Adrian Piper. Cadell, don't go too far, please. Leadership and vision. So that's literature, Adrian Piper. Leadership and vision, Cadell Kazimi. And sports and academics, Richardson Anthony.
We will now have the Surgical Awards for excellence in mathematics, Cadell Kazimi. And for physics, Dimitri Hippolyte. Information Technology, Sion Thomas. For Business, Jahid Harrison. And for excellence in sports, Curtis Alcendo. Thank you, representative of Surgical. And congratulations to all the recipients of the various awards. The next speaker, he comes from the graduating class, and his name is Sage Mackenzie. Sage entered the St. Mary's Academy as the Island Scholar, and all throughout his academic journey, he has been an honor student, topping all his classes. He was the winner of the 7th annual Rotary Literacy Quiz Competition with his partner, Cadell Kazimi, in 2020. During the summer vacations, he has participated in Create and Code and has been a top student for several years. He loves the sciences and would conduct experiments even at home. Apart from academics, Sage is the Assistant Secretary at the St. Mary's Academy 4-H Club International. He is a junior preacher at the Roseau SDA Church. He is an avid swimmer and loves anything to do with the ocean, including snorkeling and kayaking. Please welcome this year's valedictorian with an end-of-year average of 96.83%, Mr. Sage Mackenzie.
Father Nigel Karam, Dr. Jeffrey Bless, Chief Education Officer in the Ministry of Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training and National Excellence, and other educational officials. Father Branka John, Chaplain of St. Mary's Academy. Mrs. Josephine Dublin, Superintendent of Catholic Schools. Members of the clergy and religious. Mr. Sheldon Alfred, featured speaker. Mrs. Sylvia John Baptist, the principal and staff of the St. Mary's Academy. Benefactors, other invited guests, the media, virtual viewers, parents, guardians, well-wishers of St. Mary's Academy. Graduating class of 2023. Good morning. Well, good afternoon, I suppose. Now, 16 years ago, in 2007, I attended my first SMA graduation ceremony when I was only a few weeks old, when my elder brother, Garvey, was honored to be the valedictorian of that year. Later in life, that too served as an inspiration. I would like to express how honored yet humbled I am to be named the valedictorian of the St. Mary's Academy graduating class of 2023. Throughout my time at SMA, I have worked hard and gone through a myriad of changes, and it is a wonderful experience to see it all culminate in this moment. Truly, the struggle of learning and growing yields many rewards. Now, my dear graduates, I would like to ask you a question, or rather a few questions. How would you feel if, while hiding in fear from your detractors and the challenges that confronted you, an angel appeared to you, like one did to Gideon in the Bible, and called you a mighty man of valor? Would it motivate you to look at yourself differently? Would it inspire you to step out and face all of these threats? Would it spur you on to improve yourself, to change and become better? Like the angel did for Gideon, this is what I believe our high school experience did for us. And I'm thankful to God for allowing us all to achieve this milestone. The St. Mary's Academy has played a major role in bringing out our true potential, even when we sometimes doubted ourselves and our capabilities. For the most part, we enjoyed ourselves tremendously during our time at St. Mary's. This was due in part to our camaraderie as tightly knit classmates. Moreover, all of the teachers took great pains to ensure that our lessons were engaging and memorable for the entire class. I wish that I could devote several paragraphs to explaining the creative and effective teaching techniques used by all our various teachers, but then the speech would take all day. I vividly remember having to speak in French during Mademoiselle Paul's classes, which eventually led several of us to become fluent French speakers. Mrs. Toulon's field trips, which gave our entire class a practical understanding of geography and the effects of the powerful forces shaping our planets. And Mr. Lazar's detailed and interesting notes on the events that formed the history of our beautiful region. Even then, these are still just 3 shining examples among many. I would like to affirm my appreciation of SMA and everything that it has done to help me and all the graduates grow and adapt to challenges. On behalf of the graduating class, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the principal, Mrs. Sylvia John Baptist, and all of the teachers of this institution for their contributions to our education. And I implore the school to continue in its mission of teaching. Moreover, academics is not the only way in which SMA has shaped the lives of its students. It has sought to help us to develop holistically by engaging us in extracurricular activities such as sports and community service. This sought to help students to develop their physical strength, their teamwork, and their discipline. The 4-H Club is also very active in the lives of students. It encourages participation in various interests and contributes immensely to our growth. We were guided and supported by the dedicated teachers in the 4-H Club, especially Mr. Bert Paul and Mr. Tyrese Francis. Thanks to them, 4-H was far more memorable. In addition, all the other students, but most importantly my classmates, have contributed to my own experience with St. Mary's Academy. I have made friends, learned in-depth lessons, and changed greatly as a result of my interactions with the rest of the class. For instance, I have become a far more social person. We have all had our experiences at this school, and our own personal growth has changed all of us. And we can say that we are more ready to step out and face the challenges of the world. Now, a particularly influential factor in shaping the SMA graduating class of 2023 was the hardships and the challenges that we faced along the way. After all, we've proven ourselves to be resilient. We're the ones who survived Hurricane Maria in grade 6. On top of that, we suffered the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. It was a great blow to us, as it meant that we could not meet in person and had lost large amounts of instruction time. This forced us, as students, to take initiative and study on our own, and to learn to make full use of electronic resources to aid our education. This and other hardships played a crucial role in helping us all in our academic and general development. Moreover, personal difficulties befell some students during their time at SMA. Whenever this happened, all the other students and teachers were very supportive and did everything in their power to help the affected students. I can speak from my personal experiences of other students providing me with notes that I missed due to sickness-related absences. Thank you so much. I'm proud to be part of a school community that demonstrates such empathy and support for its members. Now, this speech could never be complete, of course, without mentioning the roles of our various support systems, such as family, friends, and sponsors. Our family in particular deserves our gratitude, as they were every bit as pivotal to our education as the school was. From them, we learned our most basic skills and became better, more well-balanced human beings. Dad, Mom, Kida, Garvey, I salute you, along with all of the other parents. While, sadly, some of us have lost parents and relatives during our time at St. Mary's, their advice and teaching still remain with us, guiding us throughout our lives in their contribution to the people that we have become. We should all show our gratitude to our family and all the others who have supported us thus far. In conclusion, as we gladly step out of SMA into a new phase of our lives, we will encounter many new opportunities in our rapidly evolving world, influenced by factors like global environmental issues and artificial intelligence. I hope that we will not only embrace the people that we have become, but will also strive to continue the development which we have undergone throughout our high school years and become the best versions of ourselves. Naturally, because each of us is unique, our ideal visions for ourselves will be as diverse as we are. However, all of our goals should be based on the principles of love for God and love for others. Principles which St. Mary's Academy has done so much to instill in us. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mackenzie. This was our valedictorian for the academic year. Put your hands together once more for Sage Mackenzie. As this morning's celebration winds down, I now call on the salutatorian, Mr. Adrian Piper, to deliver the vote of thanks. Mr. Piper was our debater who took us up to the semi-finals of the competition. He has also represented the school in the Junior Calypso Monarch, the Magician. He placed third. He also won the SMA Calypso competition some years ago. So we welcome Mr. Adrian Piper to do us the honor.
Acting Delegate of the Archbishop, Father Nigel Karam, Dr. Jeffrey Blaise, Chief Education Officer in the Ministry of Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training, and National Excellence, and other educational officials, Father Branka John, Chaplain of the St. Mary's Academy, Mrs. Josephine Dublin, Superintendent of Catholic Schools, members of the clergy and religious, Mr. Sheldon Alfred, our featured speaker, Mrs. Sylvia John Baptist, the principal and staff of the St. Mary's Academy, benefactors, other invited guests, the media, virtual viewers, parents, guardians, well-wishers of the St. Mary's Academy, graduating class of 2023. A pleasant good day to all. On behalf of the graduating class of 2023, it is a great honor to stand before you today to deliver the vote of thanks. Firstly, I would like to extend heartfelt gratitude and glory to God Almighty for giving every one of us the strength to be here today. I would also like to extend gratitude to all of the invited guests for their attendance at today's celebration. We greatly appreciate it. Special thanks to our featured speaker, Mr. Sheldon Alfred, for presenting us with an inspirational, impactful, and memorable message. I'm sure we will not forget you. To Mrs. Sylvia John Baptist, our principal, Deacon Jeffers Paul, our vice principal, and the staff of SMA. Both I and my peers thank you humbly. Over the past 5 years, you have remained dedicated to providing us with the best education possible, even under strenuous circumstances. We would not be here today without all of you. I would also like to thank the graduation committee, Mrs. Elwin, Mrs. Toulon, Mrs. Rabes, and all others who were involved in organizing today's ceremony. We express our profound gratitude to you for helping us to celebrate this extraordinary milestone. Furthermore, thank you to the Dean of the Cathedral, Father Karam, Father Branca John, our school's chaplain, Mr. Bert Paul and the 4-H Club, the business community, and all donors and benefactors who have contributed to this ceremony in one way or another. It is because of your contributions that we have managed to make today so successful. Now, I would like to take a moment to thank all the parents, family, friends, and well-wishers of today's graduating class, whether here in person or viewing virtually. Thank you for your unwavering and invaluable support over the years. Thank you for your encouragement, your thoughts, prayers, and efforts. It is because of you that we were even able to make it here in the first place, and we hope to have made you proud. Finally, a few words to my classmates, the graduating class of 2023. Congratulations. It's been a long and treacherous road, but through sheer perseverance, you made it. Still, remember that the journey is not yet over. Treat this milestone as a stepping off point from which you can do and be whatever you set your mind to. Thanks once again to all, and may God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Piper. We have 2 announcements as we conclude this morning's proceedings. The Our Lady of Fairhaven Parish invites everyone to their Family Fun Day on Sunday, July 2nd at 2 p.m. Well, from 2 to 10 p.m. at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium. There will be performances by Signal Band, TK International, Tasha P, Daddy Chess, and a lot more. C-Squared, Unstoppable DJs. Children under 5, that will be free. And 6 to 12 would be $10, and over 13, $20. You can purchase your tickets at Deepak Scholar Lab and Bullseye Pharmacy. And we'd also like to ask all graduates at the end of this ceremony to gather by the balloon arch, which is in the corridor, for a group photo. So this takes us to the end of the graduation ceremony for 2023. Please stand as we join the graduating class as they sing the school song for the last time as a group, as students.
Please remain at attention as we conclude with the fourth stanza of the national anthem. We end for prayer. Glory be to the Father, to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, now and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. Thank you. Please be seated. And yet again, we want to say congratulations, and I think we should give the graduating class a round of applause. As one chapter of their life closes, and the next one is about to start. We have come to the end of this graduation ceremony, and we want to ask everyone to please remain in your seats as we allow the officials to leave first, followed by the teachers, and then of course, graduating class. Officials.
40 ans, on l'était tout pour pas les sortir la caille maman. C'est là où c'est les notés, c'est là où c'est les mamans. Tout ça on fait du loup pour qu'à fonctionner. Belle chambre climatisée, l'auto bien astiquée. Fait femme souffrir, c'est travail ou mon cher. Ou qu'à mentir, ou qu'à respirer, c'est pas la vie bas ou mon cher. Mettez l'eau du feu.
Teachers, you may now leave. And at this time, we are allowing the graduating class to make their exit. Please stand together.
Pas les bars, 40 ans, on l'était tout pour pas les sortir la caille maman. C'est là où c'est les rétés, c'est là où c'est les morts. Tout ça on fait du loup pour qu'à fonctionner. Belle chambre climatisée, l'auto bien astiquée. Mais comme souffert, c'est travail ou mon cher. Ou qu'à mentir, ou qu'à respirer, c'est pas la vie bas ou mon cher. Mettez l'eau du feu ou bien frère. Ou qu'à mentir, ou qu'à respirer, c'est pas la vie bas ou mon cher. Mettez l'eau du feu ou bien frère. Oubliez ni un bon Dieu. Pas oublier ni un bon Dieu qui cache tes yeux en nous pour sacrifice il fait banou. Mon gamin témoin, est-ce que les ouais nous pas bien, les genoux cassés.